Subscribe man for a journey of self-realization and press bell icon to get notification for new video.
Namah Shivaya.
We have love for Shri Sadguru and a respectful fear as well. We are aware that if we do something inappropriate or if we speak something which is not right, Shri Sadguru will get angry. However, in front of God, we are not bothered, as we know God won't be talking to us directly. People make false promises in the temple, but as soon as they step out of the temple, they act differently. But one cannot make a false promise to Sri Sadguru. It becomes difficult to see in his eyes if we break the promise. However, if we keep our promise, if we act as we speak, then we keep our heads high in front of Sri Sadguru. Recollect your childhood. If you have made a mistake and if your mother inquires about it, you cannot speak in her eyes. Don't even ask about your father. Forget making eye contact. We don't even face him. If he is in one room, we just sneak in another room and avoid him all the time when we are wrong. On the other hand, if we are right, if we have done what is expected from us, if we have done our homework, we confidently face our Father. If the same is not done, we try to avoid any conversation regarding the same. What does this imply? When there is someone physically present in front of us, it becomes difficult to lie. Similarly, there is a sort of fear of Sri Sadguru. Of course, not a normal fear that will bring unpleasant emotions about Sri Sadguru, but a respectful fear. Since Sri Sadguru is not Bakasur or Kumbhakaran, in fact, you will realize that Kumbhakarna was also an exalted person if you study him carefully. Anyways, if one has this respectful fear of Sri Sadguru, then he starts doing all the right things in remembrance of Sri Sadguru. And when you start doing things in remembrance of Sri Sadguru, everything else becomes secondary or immaterial. Which hand you use, which fingers you use for prayer beads, and the place where you're chanting, all becomes immaterial. Now think about the hunter Wali. Who was Sri Valmiki originally? He was a hunter, just like a don we see nowadays, breaking bones and loot everyone. Just imagine when Wali would have started chanting the holy Naam. Would he do it the way it is written in the scriptures? Definitely not. In fact, when Sri Narad Muni asked him to chant the holy name of Lord Rama, he was not even able to pronounce the word Rama. Instead, he started chanting Mara Mara, since he only knew one thing in life, and that was to beat or kill people, and that's why he could pronounce the word Mara, which in Marathi means to kill. But while chanting Mara Mara Mara, it eventually becomes Rama Rama Rama. We can say eventually, though unknowingly, he chanted the holy name of Lord Rama. In Sri Shiv Leela Amrit as well, there is a reference in the second adhyaya of one hunter who unknowingly did puja and offered bale leaves on the Shivlinga. In reality, he was sitting on the tree waiting for prey to be hunted. He simply cut the leaves which were obstructing his vision. However, those leaves fell on the Shivlinga and unknowingly puja was performed. Happy with his offering, Lord Shiva appeared in front of him. Just imagine if Lord can bless us even when the puja is done unknowingly. What will happen when we do it with full devotion? And still, I will say, doing it unknowingly is also okay. When a child calls his mother, it's not always with intention. Most of the times it is unintentional. He keeps calling her name, I. No matter how the child is calling her name, she has her eye on her child 24 hours a day. It doesn't matter how the child is. You can underline the sentence, no matter how the child is. Every mother is always watching her child. In fact, she is more attentive to those children who are a little off the track. The same is the case with Sri Sadguru. He is always watching us. When we are in pain, when we have problems in life, he is always there for us. For Sri Sadguru, you are like his child and he wants to take you out of all the troubles. This feeling should become strong within you. Just listening to this is not enough. You should feel that Sri Sadguru is always watching us. Sri Sadguru is always with us. Once this feeling becomes strong, everything else becomes secondary. It's okay if you forget to chant Holy Naam on a particular day. It is important to chant Holy Naam regularly. But why? To have this feeling alive within you. Thus, if this feeling of oneness with Sri Sadguru is achieved, then even if you forget chanting once, you should not feel sorry. The pinch you feel when you go to the bed that you forgot to chant the Holy Naam is much more than the Holy Naam itself. From the depth of your heart, you tell Sri Sadguru that you missed chanting the Holy Naam. That is proof that you have achieved oneness with Sri Sadguru. The feeling for 5 minutes is equivalent to the chanting of Holy Naam itself. Or I'll say that feeling is much more than your day to day chanting. Of course, that does not mean that from tomorrow you will start doing the same and will return the prayer beads to me. But that feeling of oneness should be achieved and should stay 24 hours a day with you. If one achieves that state, then nothing else is needed. He doesn't need an idol. He doesn't need any sort of puja. Doesn't even need a bath. Bathing is needed for our own cleanliness and not for God. God doesn't become pure or impure. Even if you don't wash the idol daily, He will remain the Almighty that He is. When we pour water on the idol of Sri Ganesha carved out of stone, it becomes wet and dries in some time. It doesn't matter to the idol, it is for us. If we don't bathe regularly, we will get infected, and it is for us that we need to bathe before performing any puja. But what is important is that once we achieve oneness with Sri Sadguru, nothing is required. There are saints who said, Kantha Mora Bhaji Avaghi Vithai Maji, which means he has seen God with toba and onion, radish, and vegetables. He has not seen Lord Vittal anywhere else. He had such a strong feeling that God resides everywhere that he could witness Lord Vittal even in the roots of his vegetables. A similar feeling is there in all of us. Sri Sadguru is just helping us to bring that feeling out. But for that, we need to be receptive. We should not let our ego come our way. Unless we dissolve our identity in front of Sri Sadguru, we will not get what Sri Sadguru is here to offer. One should introspect. If I am somebody, why am I suffering? We should ask this to Sri Sadguru by surrendering in his feet and not with ego. Even we don't like if someone questions us with ego in their voice. We always expect people to give us respect and talk to us politely. Similarly, we should also talk to Sri Sadguru very politely. We should surrender in his feet and then ask, why are we in such a state? The more politely you will request, the more keenly you will request, much more quickly Sri Sadguru will help you to realize your true self and will help you realize true happiness. And once you realize your true self, you will be automatically realized from all these bondings. All these rules are in place to instill discipline. In our home, also, we have certain rules and regulations. The purpose is simple: to have discipline and to keep every member of the family within certain limits. Certain rules laid by a family stick to us even when you go abroad. We see that kids who follow certain lifestyles here continue to follow the same even when they stay away from family. We see, in spite of a lot of distractions abroad, kids from our mandir have stayed away from everything even after going out of India. The principles that got cultivated in them here stayed with them even when they went abroad. This is what Sri Sadguru expects out of us. Nothing else is required. Jai Sai Ram.